Okay, GM everyone. Just by a quick show of hands, who here is familiar with the idea of an unconference, maybe even participated in one before? Amazing. Okay, we're practicing our decentralization here. And what about quadratic voting? Who's familiar with that? Okay, nice. We got some mechanism nerds in the house. So basically what we've created for ETHBoulder is an integration of these two ideas. An unconference being where anyone can propose a session, and the event is really created by its participants rather than by the organizers. And we're doing a little bit of a hybrid of, for the general forum on Ethereum localism, that's a particular format. Here we're a little bit of a hybrid. So we have some sessions that have been pre-scheduled by the organizers. We've brought in some amazing artists. Shout out Renee for bringing in a ton of amazing artists, and there's gonna be a robot battle tomorrow night that just got put up on the schedule. And then we have a number of slots that are available for all of you to propose sessions. And thank you to everyone who's already put a session up in the system. And what we're basically going to do, I'll show you how the app works in a minute, but I'm just going to explain the general principles. Over the course of today, we want people to be submitting their sessions, voting on their sessions. Quadratic voting allows you to express your relative preference. And so as organizers, towards the end of today, we're going to look at all of the votes, look at all of the slots. When you propose a session, if you've proposed one already, we admittedly added a feature last night where you can propose when you would like to do it so that you don't get scheduled in a time you're not available. And so if you haven't done that, please indicate your preferences on your session. And then we're going to try to fill in all of the unconference sessions with the top voted sessions based on availability. And so that there's a little bit of artificial scarcity, but also real scarcity. There's only so much time in the day. There's only so many venue spaces we can use. And so we're hoping that the collective intelligence of this group voting on the sessions that you like will surface the sessions that are actually the most interesting that we should be talking about. But we don't want to just limit it to what we have physical space for, because this event is all about forking Boulder itself. And so inside of the app, there's an option to self-host, which means that you're not going to be at an official venue, but it means that you have total permission to put up on the schedule anything that you want to see happen, and you can use that as a way to invite people to participate in something that you care about. So if you're self-hosting, I would suggest pick a cafe, pick a restaurant, pick a bar, put that address in the session details, and then people will be able to find you for that conversation. So let me just walk you through a little bit of how this actually works. So once you've logged in, you're going to create your account, and then you can propose a session here. And you can select which type the session is, how long it is, what your preferences are for when you'd like it to be, any tracks you want to associate it with. You don't have to associate it with a track if you don't want. And if you would like it to be considered to be scheduled in the official venue, click that, and then add your tags and submit. And then there's a brief approval process just to make sure we don't get any spammers who are adding things who are not part of the actual IRL group. And then once that session has been approved, you'll see it here in the sessions list. And you can filter here by session, by track, sessions that have been proposed but not scheduled. And then right here in the interface, you can add your votes. And the votes save automatically. There's no need to submit. And you can also, the heart is distinct from the vote. The heart will just add this to your schedule so you can keep tabs on the events that you want to attend. And then you can also view the full schedule here. Some of the cool things that we're experimenting with, let's go to Kevin's session here. You're able to edit your session. And so we're going to send out an email this evening, determine it when we know what the official times are for the unconference sessions. If your session didn't do well enough in the votes to get an official placement, you're going to have the option to edit the event here and switch it over to self-hosted, which means that no one's blocking you from hosting it. Just because we don't have space in the official venue, you are welcome to fork this event as you see fit. And then we're also doing some interesting things here with, as an admin of your event, you can add a Telegram group if you want to follow up with people. This Telegram group will be a public link once you've linked it, so that people in your session can easily follow up with each other. You can view participants here if you want to catch up with someone. Definitely encourage you when you're creating your profile. Oh, okay, vibe coding. In your profile, definitely encourage you to link your ENS for a fun surprise, and use that as a way to stay connected with each other. And the last thing that I want to share is that we're really excited to be working with Bonfires AI, and they're going to come up and share a little bit more later about how we're working with them. But I just want to make everyone aware that we are going to have a knowledge graph associated with this event. They're going to explain more how that works. But throughout the event, if you want to add something to the graph, just click on this button inside of your event dashboard or your event page. And that's going to bring you to a DM with a bot that is basically sucking up all of the knowledge and insights, and they'll show more about how that works. But one thing at a kind of event logistics level, it's really important that we ask for consent before recording. And so this is one of the first decentralized governance challenges that you might encounter during ETHBoulder. What happens if you're in a session and someone says, hey, can we record? And 1 or 2 people out of 5 say no. What do you do? How do you practice consent-based governance when there's 2 different paths? So you could fork, you could decide together through consensus, through consent. Those people could leave. There's no actual one way to do it. It could be slightly awkward, but use your best decentralized governance skills to figure out how to navigate getting consent. Because if you do record, we're going to add this to a knowledge graph that throughout the event, you'll be able to see in real time the collective intelligence of this group starting to form in this graph database. And so we'll share more about that later, but definitely as you're hosting sessions, participating in sessions, think about recording, think about how we might ingest this so that this event isn't just a flash in the pan. There's actually a kind of longer arc of what is possible when we bring this many literal geniuses together in one place. Yeah, keep an eye on the schedule. We're going to continue to be updating it and pushing things. If you go to your dashboard, you can see the top performing sessions, the latest sessions. This is definitely intended to be a live part of the event. So use it to stay abreast of new sessions that might be added. Really strong provocation here is if you're having a really fascinating conversation with someone over lunch and you're like, wow, I bet other people would be really interested to have this conversation with us. Use those moments of like genuine inspiration and connection as the kind of source point of creating new sessions, because we want this event to really emerge from what people are passionate about, what they want to explore. So we've created this app as a kind of working prototype of how unconferences and quadratic voting could work together. There will probably be bugs. Please share them there's a Telegram channel for bugs inside of the main public chat. And it's just been so fun to already watch these 87 sessions start to come in and people actually start to use it. So excited to see what you all do with it. And if you have any questions, please let me know.